gardener here. So I'm gonna take you to a place today and show you a place called Hickory Mound Impoundment Unit right here in Taylor County, Florida, city of Perry. Being a gardener, as most of y'all are if you're watching this channel probably, anything to do with the natural Florida or natural environment that's around us, there's lots of pretty things. It's a perfect place for that. Kayaking here, fishing, bird watching. I mean, it's everywhere. Scalloping, trout, redfish. It's a beautiful area. Bird watching tired. We're going to go down today and look at all that. Hopefully we'll encounter some of the locals, be able to talk to them, maybe even see some fish or some blue crabs if they caught some. So y'all come on and go with me. So if you'll choose to come down Highway 14 off of 98 and come in, one of the first things you're going to come to is an older model concrete bridge with pipe railing. This bridge that you're crossing is the Incafina River. Flows straight out into the Gulf. Teeming with fish, the mouth's used quite often for scalloping, saltwater fishing, freshwater brim fishing. Let's continue on. We're headed to Hickory Mound. On your way in, pay close attention. It's teeming with game and these types of cabbages here. The locals refer to these as swamp cabbages. You can cut the center and eat them. This area is known for turkeys, wild deer, wild boar, squirrels, rabbits. So keep your eye out as you ride in slow and enjoy the ride. Hickory Mound is part of the Big Bend Wildlife Management Area in the Hickory Mound unit. I'll post a link to that website. There are some rules and regulations down here that you do need to follow. So I would suggest that you click on that link and read the rules and regulations and operating procedures before you make this trip. This area is monitored by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Fish Commission. If you'll take your time, you'll also see little sawgrass marshes, cedar trees that grow in this area, live oaks, water oaks, slash pine, and some virgin timber, and little waterways like this where you may see a baby gator, you may see a duck. When you come in, just like many of your state areas, you'll see a kiosk here that tells you what the area is about. So let's step up there and check that out. Here on this sign, it tells you that the Big Bend Wildlife Management Area forms part of the 200-mile crescent of coastal marshes stretching from St. Mark to the Swanee River. In 1987, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission purchased this irreplaceable landscape to conserve wildlife and then offer incredible recreational opportunities. This one says, life in the salt marsh. Florida's Big Bend coast is fringed with salt marshes that form where fresh water flowing from the land mixes with the Gulf of Mexico. Many of Florida's popular marine fishes, shellfish, crabs, and shrimp, spend the early part of their lives hidden within the protective tangle of salt marsh plants. As salt marsh plants die and decompose, the rich organic matter becomes a food source for the many marsh dwellers. Meandering tidal creeks deliver and distribute these valuable nutrients to tidal inhabitants. Of the raccoon, the fiddler crabs, snowy egret, and then over here it gives you a little guideline of some of the fish to expect here. The redfish, sea trout, mullet, and blue crab. As you leave the oak hammocks, you come out onto a vast salt marsh with fields of sawgrass, clusters of little pines, swamp cabbage, palms. As you can see, you have marsh on both sides, and then the Gulf of Mexico is on that side. Oftentimes on these spillways, you'll see people fishing and crabbing from them. Several crude boat ramps throughout the area. Pretty decent grills. I would bring some aluminum foil, maybe something to scrub with. Picnic area is right near the creek. Some of these picnic areas are tucked out of the way to give you some peace and privacy from the road traffic. They also have porta-johns in its natural form. During the right times of season, you'll see flowers, varieties of birds that'll be darting all around on you. It is an ideal location for anybody that loves the outdoors and different types of plants, trees. Now when it comes to bird watching, if you'll look straight over here, you can see a tower. That tower is specifically designed for bird watching. There used to be 2 down here over the years. Now there's back to 1. We'll be making our way over to that tower here shortly. We'll stop here and talk with these locals and see if maybe they're catching anything or what kind of luck they've had. Y'all having any luck?
Hey, we done caught about 12.
Can we look at them? They've caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 redfish. So I see the hook that you're using. Is there a specific size hook that works better?
No, it's just a little one. So I'm gonna take it out, saying it.
It's way out there.
Circle up.
So does that hook have a specific size or a number classification if
Well,
I wanted to buy them the hook? To
There's
catch
different
redfish?
sizes to them.
And do you know the size of that one?
Yeah.
So those are Eagle Claw Laser Sharp. There's the number. Right there in the corner. So you're using shrimp.
Yep.
Any particular way you spear the shrimp?
There's like a little hard shell piece right. You go behind it, and you just keep looping it, and you pull it up. There you go.
Okay, so you have the hook
Through the shrimp.
coming out
Through the
on
scale.
bottom. So when you throw it out, do you just let it sit there or do you work it?
I let it sit there until something starts pulling it.
Recreational fishing is very large down here.
No, Bryson, over here.
And if you don't want to get on the structures of the platform, there are plenty of spots here where they've made it where you can walk down. And once you get by the water, it's pretty much wide open. You can work your way down, find you a spot, set up a chair, stand. We can go all the way around this little peninsula of water, walking fish. If you're coming through the Big Bend area of Florida here in Perry, Taylor County, I would definitely make this on my trip, whether you're in a kayak, a vehicle, or a bike. 2 at once.
Eli, get your jacket on. Now.
So explain what you're doing there.
To make sure he's legal.
Okay, what is legal?
18.
It's 19.
18 to where? The belly of his tail or the tips of his tail? So is it to this part of the tail or the longest point of the tail?
Longest point of the tail. So if you don't do the longest point of the tail, it's 20. You can't go over 27.
Daddy.
Now this area we're coming into is the bird tower. This is well worth the visit while you're down here. To me, this is the highlight. This is where you can see the overall beauty of the place. If you pull up down here and there's bird watchers set up there with cameras, give them some space, hang out a while, don't crowd them. There appear to be some locals, so we'll hang out a little while and go walk down the trail and wait for them to leave. You have a picnic table and a grill. Picnic table over there, you could cook. Picnic tables scattered throughout this area here located by the bird tower. Several that give you some privacy. This raised marsh goes out over the sawgrass. This is what takes you up to the bird tower. So we're going to go to the top of that tower, give you a good view, and then we'll walk it down. It is 3 levels with metal roof, and they built a wooden ramp with handrails that goes out over the salt marsh to lead to it. That is beautiful. Give you a little pan there. and see what kind of view we get. This is the first level. Go up these stairs. The second level. Any of these levels, the view is magnificent. So here we are, we're on the 3rd floor of this bird tower. Got here over that ramp that comes out over the marsh. This view is spectacular. Good spot to set up a telescope or a photo lens. We have spent days here. Have seen gators eating birds, different birds, hogs, deer, otters, all types of wildlife. When the tide's in, these creeks are full of water. Go down to the 2nd floor. This is your 2nd floor. And this is your 1st floor. Stairs aren't too awfully bad. And our boardwalk. Man, what a view. So, you seen it today. It is here. There wasn't many people here today. It's cold and it's windy. But this is definitely an area. I'll post some links. I definitely read up on it, rules and regulations, before you come down here. But there's some beautiful things here to do, especially for the outdoorsman. There's some hunting. Well worth your trip if you're in this area. I would suggest you do some research before you make the trip. Figure out what type of these plants are blooming or in season at which time of year. If you're into the migratory birds, there's some information on that online. Sibley's Book of Birds, great book. Tells you when they're migrating through areas. There's lots of other things. I've had a good time today, and I hope y'all have too, and I'll see you back here next time.